The Andrew Carter Morning Show on News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
Well, yesterday we got more details about the latest spending package for Canadians affected by the outbreak. Now, if you are affected, you're not alone. It's estimated, well, the survey says that 44% think their salary will either disappear or go down, and another 20% think it's going to happen before too long. You'll get up to $2,000 for 4 months straight. Applications open early in April, and payments will start that month through to October. So what's in it for you? Do you qualify? Nick Moraitis is the team lead on Canadian taxes at Fuller Landau, accountants and business advisors. Morning, Nick.
Morning, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you? How's your family? Everybody okay?
Very well. Isolated in the house, and I haven't been kicked out yet, so that's good.
So basically, my understanding, if you earned $5,000, at least $5,000 last year, and you lose your job for any reason, well, it would be COVID-19 these days, I think, you're eligible.
That's right. The program, which is Canada Emergency Response Benefit, or CERB, is there to cover loss of income, loss of jobs because of COVID-19. And you're correct. You needed to have earned at least $5,000 in the last 12 months or in 2019 to be eligible and be 15 years and older. It's a second program. The employment insurance program is still there for most of us, and it still is working. This is a supplemental program. As you mentioned, Andrew, it's a flat $2,000 a month that covers, for the period of time you're not working, from March 15 to October the 3rd. There's about a 6.5-month period, which the government is saying will pay you for 4 of those months, $2,000 a month. That's $8,000 total. But you had to have lost your job because of the COVID-19, which means if you're losing your job for some other reason, your office is shutting down and moving to another country, you got employment insurance.
Okay, but if you don't have to have COVID-19 or be quarantined to get it. It's say if business is down as a result of COVID-19 and they're laying people off, you're eligible.
That's right, and there will probably be some questions once they get the portal, which you referred to in April, open to make your application. Because right now, unfortunately, this is moving very fast. They don't have the infrastructure set in place to start cutting checks to people. They're mentioning that by April the 6th, I'm hearing the date, the portal on the web, somewhere on the Canada pages, will be available for people to go on and make the application, and then they're promising checks within 10 days. So the earliest you'd be seeing a check, if the government is correct in their numbers, is by April 16. So if you've lost your job as of now, if you've lost your job last week, or you're going to lose your job in another couple of weeks, you're not. That's the deadline in terms of getting your check. And what they're looking for, Andrew, as you mentioned, is I lost my job because of COVID-19. I've been quarantined because of that. I've been sick because of that. I'm taking care of someone who has COVID-19. I'm a parent with kids who can't go to school. There's no daycare, so I have to stay home and take care of them. And because of that, I cannot work. All of these qualify. And what's important with this CERB, because technically you also have EI for all this as well. Yeah. What's important for the CERB is it picks up all the Canadians who cannot get EI. So if you haven't worked enough hours in the last 52 weeks, which I think in Montreal is about 700 hours, will give you about 14 weeks of unemployment. If you haven't done that, your only option is the CERB.
Okay.
Self-employed people, contractors who are not employees, they have clients, they invoice their clients to get paid. If all of a sudden their contracts dry up and they have no work because of that, they cannot get EI, they can get the CERB.
Okay, so this would be people like personal trainers and such?
I usually call them the consultants, the ones who've lost their job and they started consulting to get contracts here and there. Artists, personal trainers, there's a lot of people who do design work where they're not employees. They're not considered employees. They are now eligible for the CERB. And the beauty of the CERB, it's a flat $2,000 a month, regardless how much you make. Whereas employment insurance, they'll ask you how long have you worked, how much do you make, and then everything is a function of that.
Okay, so here's a question I have. Yeah. It's $500 a week, and it is taxable, but they're not taking tax off the top, right? You're getting $500 you pay later?
Yeah, that's my concern is there's two things here with the CERB. One is this concern about the taxes. I was kind of surprised. I'll be honest, I did not see that in the legislation that they specifically said that this is taxable, but usually if they don't say anything, it is. Yeah. But it's something in the finance notices that they gave out called it a taxable benefit, which to me means you're going to pay tax on it. So if your income stabilizes between now and December, if things return back to normal and you lose some income but not everything, you may find a surprise in April of next year when you're doing your tax return that you owe taxes on this $8,000 that you collected.
That's right, because normally we're used to that being taken off its source.
That's right, and that's kind of scary. The other thing that we're now noticing is just a little bit of confusion, because for those of us who do not have ability to go to EI, your only option is the CERB. So the minute you're hearing that you're losing your job or your income has gone down to zero, you're applying to the CERB on April the 6th, you're going to be in front of your computer trying to get access, as another million people might be trying to get access. It's the majority who can get both. Well, there's some confusion. Apparently, you're entitled to both, but not at the same time. So if you're already on unemployment insurance, where you're going to continue receiving your payments, you can qualify for the CERB when you run out of benefits, and it's before October the 3rd, which is the deadline, and you're still not working, you can then apply for the CERB.
Okay, I got one more question here, and I'm sure a lot of people are in this position. This gentleman is going to be furloughed on the 1st of April. He has and continues to receive Quebec pension, but his primary source of revenue will stop. Does he qualify for the $2,000?
Yeah, from the legislation that we saw, it does not. It only says you cannot get income from work, like a job, or from self-employment. It does not talk about pension.
Okay.
So to me, I would say yes.
And another one is probably pretty common too. I live off my RRSP, but I work part-time on a reserve for cash. The reserve has shut down. Can I receive help? Unless they can prove that they had income, no, huh?
Well, no, because that $5,000 that we talked about at the beginning, it has to be from the salary or from self-employment work, etc. So if it's been cash or if it's anything else, like a pension, it won't apply.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, Nick Moraitis is with Fuller Landau.